Just after midnight on June 5, 1968, U.S. Senator Robert F. Kennedy is shot several times by 24-year-old Palestinian Sirhan Sirhan at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. RFK was the brother of former U.S. President John F. Kennedy and had served as Attorney General in JFK's administration. In 1968, RFK was running for president, and many expected him to become the Democratic nominee, which would have pitted him against Republican Richard Nixon, whom his brother had narrowly defeated 8 years earlier. On that fateful night, RFK had just won the California Democratic presidential primary and had delivered a victory speech at the Ambassador Hotel's ballroom. While exiting the venue through the kitchen, he was shot by Sirhan Sirhan. Star athletes and RFK supporters Rafer Johnson and Rosie Greer wrestled Sirhan to the ground. RFK was pronounced dead the next day. His assassination occurred just 2 months after Martin Luther King Jr.'s fatal shooting in Memphis, Tennessee. Sirhan was convicted and sentenced to death, but his sentence was changed to life imprisonment in 1972 when the California Supreme Court outlawed the death penalty in the state. Vice President Hubert Humphrey went on to win the Democratic nomination and was defeated by Nixon in a landslide in November. In 2021, a California parole board voted to grant 77-year-old Sirhan Sirhan parole, claiming that he was no longer a threat to society. 2 of RFK's sons, including Robert F. Kennedy Jr., publicly supported Sirhan's parole, but 6 of RFK's other children opposed the move and pleaded with California Governor Gavin Newsom to overturn the parole board's decision. In the end, Newsom denied Sirhan's parole bid, and Sirhan, now in his 80s, is still in prison in California. Here are other events that happened today in history. In 1870, a section of Constantinople, now Istanbul, burns, killing 900 and destroying 3,000 homes. In 1933, during the Great Depression, President Franklin Roosevelt takes the U.S. off the gold standard. In 1947, Secretary of State George Marshall proposes U.S. aid to help post-war Europe recover. In 1967, Israel launches a preemptive aerial attack against Egypt, triggering the Six-Day War. In 1981, the CDC publishes an article describing 5 cases of a rare lung infection that is later known as AIDS. In 1989, a man defiantly stands in front of a column of Chinese tanks leaving Tiananmen Square. In 2004, former U.S. President Ronald Reagan dies at age 93 after a long struggle with Alzheimer's. And now it's time for our Today in History quiz. In which U.S. state was the first ever drive-in movie theater located? New Jersey, Pennsylvania, California, or Oregon? Think you know the answer? Drop your guesses in the comments below. Find out if you're right next time on Today in History. You made it through Today in History. Nice work. Now treat yourself. Click the video on the right for what happened yesterday in history. Still can't get enough? The link on the left's got the whole playlist buffet. Want to make history a daily habit? Click my face in the middle to subscribe.